Hey gamers, I'm starting my series of collection videos by going through my Nintendo DS collection. I chose this system because it's the one for which I've played through almost all the games I own. I'm starting in alphabetical order with Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. It's the first handheld spin-off of the series. It is a platformer and not a particularly good one. Its successor, Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery, is again a platformer but a much better one. It is set between the main story of Assassin's Creed 2 and the downloadable content. Again, better than the previous handheld game, but still not particularly good. Bangai-O Spirits is a mech shoot-em-up for the system. It's tons of fun. The levels can get really chaotic. You can make your own levels, you can download levels online. My only qualm with this is that the story mode is essentially the tutorial. It does not go any further than that. However, again, there are tons of optional levels to play through, and it is lots of fun. I highly recommend this. Another hidden gem I really like is Custom Robo Arena. It's the only game in the series we have got here in the PAL regions. It's kind of an RPG, kind of a third-person shooter. Essentially, you have these little robots that you can customize and stuff, and you have them fight. Lots of fun. I really like this game. Fortunately, I only have this loose. It's Digimon World Dawn, a monster RPG for the system. They did the whole Pokemon thing where they released two separate versions. There was Dawn and Dusk. I only have Dawn, and I really enjoyed this. Next, I have a game I'm playing at the moment, Dagadar. I'm really not sure how you pronounce this. It's kind of a racing game. You know how like Sonic curls up in the little ball and goes through the hoops? Imagine that as a full game where you're competing against another really fast moving ball. I don't know how else to describe this. It's weird, and it is kind of fun and addictive actually. Next I have Draglade. It's kind of a rhythm fighting game, I suppose. I had never heard of this game before I picked it up. I just saw it in the store for cheap, and I went for it, and I did not regret it. Another game I'm playing at the moment, Dragon Quest: The Chapters of the Chosen. I think it's the same as Dragon Quest 4. Really solid RPG. I'm enjoying it so far. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is a horrible game that can't really decide what it's trying to be. At times it's a platformer, at times it's a shoot 'em up, and it's overall awful. Final Fantasy III. This game speaks for itself. It is an amazing RPG. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to playing the rest of the games in the series. From the Abyss is a dungeon crawler. It's a pretty solid game. It's kind of short in length, but it is quite fun and fairly addictive. It's nothing special, but it is still a good game. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. The game that introduced Shion. It kind of tries to put PlayStation 2 experience on a handheld, and it doesn't quite accomplish that, but it does much better than Recoded, and I actually enjoyed it more than Chain of Memories. It's a fairly good game. Good addition to the series. Marvel Nemesis, Rise of the Imperfects, superhero fighting game, not much more to say. Marvel trading card game. I played like the first 2-3 battles, and then I just gave up. I didn't play the card game, so I'm not enjoying the video game at all. But if you do play the card game, then I've heard that it's a fairly good translation onto video games. Mega Man Star Force Leo. I don't care that most Mega Man fans don't like the Star Force series. I love it, and that's why I also have Mega Man Star Force 2, Zerker X Ninja, which this one has 2 games, Zerker and Ninja. The Star Force series is a lot like the Battle Network. It's kind of its spiritual successor, I guess. Next up I have My Frogger Toy Trials. It is a platformer of sorts, a puzzle platformer, and it is kind of iffy, like some of the puzzles control a bit weird, but generally it's surprisingly fun. It's a way to kill your time, essentially. Another dungeon crawler, Mystery Dungeon Shiren the Wanderer. It is surprisingly hard. I actually haven't beaten this. I have still to beat this game, even though I've had it for years. Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword. Fairly hard game. Has really nice visuals. You have to tilt the DS 90 degrees to play, which is an interesting way to play. You use the touch screen to control Ryu. I really like this game. I'm actually playing through it at the moment. I'm like 3/4 through. Next is Ninja Town, real-time strategy with a nice sense of humor. I really enjoyed this game. Also, I highly recommend it. New Super Mario Bros. Classic platformer action from Nintendo. What else can you say? Next one's not really a game. It's the Nintendo DS browser for the Fat DS. The store also had the one for the Lite, but I only have the fat one. I didn't get it to the Lite or the DSi. I do have the 3DS though. Pokemon Black, Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Pokemon Pearl version, Pokemon Platinum version, Pokemon Soul Silver version, Pokemon White version, and Pokemon White 2. You see, I have a lot of Pokemon games. There's not really much to say about them. It's a classic Mons game, and the Mystery Dungeon series makes that into a dungeon crawler. Another Mon RPG, Spectrobes Beyond the Portals, which I didn't really enjoy. The last game in the first Spyro canon, Spyro Shadow Legacy. It's an RPG platformer, and I actually didn't dislike it that much. I thought it had potential. Stratego Next Edition, a board game ported onto the DS essentially. Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning, first game in the reboot, platformer on the DS. The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass and The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, the DS sequels to Wind Waker. I didn't like them as much as the other Zelda games, but they're still good games nonetheless. Transformers Autobots. I don't really know what to say about this game other than don't buy it unless it's for a complete collection. Ultimate Mortal Kombat, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a port of Mortal Kombat 3, along with Puzzle Combat. Loads of fun. It's It's as hard as Mortal Kombat 3, pretty much. It is a quite enjoyable game. Good port. X3, the official game, is another one of those games that were published to capitalize off the success of a movie and are just horrible. I don't know how else to describe this. You control your X-Men and you touch things on the touch screen to make them attack those things, but there's other things on screen and they also kill you before you even get to those things. It is hard to maneuver past the third level. And it's not the kind of good Nintendo hard where you just want to go on. It's kind of hard that essentially you want to toss the game out the window. I left this behind. Ridge Racer DS, solid racing game. Oh, this was caught under some other games also. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, another Pokemon Dungeon Crawler. Next I have a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh games. I have Nightmare Troubadour, Yu-Gi-Oh World Championship 2008, solid ports of card game onto video game format, but this is where, actually I think the 2009 game was where they started losing it, but I don't have it. I only have this one, Reverse of Arcadia, which I didn't particularly like, not because of the synchro monsters or whatever, it's just the display was much better in the previous games. I didn't like this almost at all. Next is GX Card Almanac. This is the French version. I'm not sure if it has a different name in English. It's essentially a database of all the cards up to the end of the GX sets. It has some combos and strategies, and also has like a dual calculator, dice roll, coin flip, so you can have this by your side while you're playing the card game. That's everything in my DS collection. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time, I guess.